I moved into the new colony with a mix of hope and apprehension. The apartment was affordable, the neighborhood quiet, and from my balcony I could see the remnants of a landfill in the distance, a sprawling heap of decay that the residents largely ignored. It was an eyesore, but I told myself it would fade into the background in time. I just had to adjust. At first, it was the little things. Strange noises drifted from the landfill at night. Sometimes it was the yipping and growling of stray dogs fighting over scraps, a sound I'd heard plenty before. But other nights, something more unsettling reached my ears. Soft, mournful cries that sounded like children weeping. I tried to dismiss it, telling myself it was just my imagination, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something about the landfill was off. It was an eyesore, but I told myself it would fade into the background in time. I just had to adjust. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, I caught sight of it for the first time. A cat was perched on the edge of the landfill, its sleek black fur almost blending into the shadows. At first it seemed ordinary, save for the unnerving way it stared directly at me. Its gaze was piercing, intelligent, almost too knowing. And then it smiled. I froze, gripping the balcony railing as I tried to process what I was seeing. The cat's face shifted, its features twisting unnaturally until its mouth resembled a human's. It wasn't just a vague resemblance, it had lips, teeth, and a sinister smirk that seemed to mock me. "Hello," the voice was soft, low, and chillingly human. My chest tightened and my legs turned to jelly. I stumbled back into my apartment, slamming the door behind me. For hours I sat in my living room, the curtains drawn, my heart pounding. I kept telling myself it was a trick of the light, a hallucination, anything but reality. But deep down I knew what I had seen. The next few nights were worse. The cries from the landfill grew louder, more desperate. The dogs barking turned to frantic yelps before cutting off abruptly, leaving a chilling silence in their wake. I stopped going to the balcony altogether, but I could still feel that cat's presence. It was as though it was watching me, waiting for me to look again. One night I couldn't resist. I peeked through the curtains, my breath shallow, my heart hammering. The landfill was bathed in moonlight, the trash piles casting eerie shadows, and there it was, perched on the same spot, its human mouth curling into that same sinister smile. "Come closer." I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I decided I couldn't take it anymore. I had to know if anyone else had seen it, if anyone else felt the strange pull of that place. I knocked on my neighbor's door, an elderly man who had lived there for decades. When I mentioned the landfill, his face darkened. "You shouldn't look at it. This place, well, it wasn't always a colony. That landfill used to be something else, a village. They burned it down during the famine, buried the bodies under the trash. The animals that wander there, they're not right." I didn't ask more. I didn't want to know. That night I heard the voice again, not from the landfill, but from my balcony. "Let me in." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. When morning came, I packed my things and left the apartment without looking back. As I drove away, I could feel eyes on me, unblinking and patient. Even now, I sometimes hear the faint cries of children and the barking of dogs in the dead of night. And in my dreams, that cat waits for me, smiling with its human mouth.